Do you have anybody in there?
Hi everyone. I'm watching the end of the Australia-New Zealand match. You would all be hearing some background noise there. That's a wide. So it looks Australia has won by 2 wickets against New Zealand with Cameron Green by far the man of the match. He's batted through cramps and all sorts of stiffness and soreness and some groin problems as well. Australia won by 2 wickets against New Zealand, despite Trent Boult bowling particularly well, and despite also the heroics of Glenn Maxwell with his bowling. Cameron Green really showing to be a true champion. Australia winning by 2 wickets, not exactly the biggest victory ever. Himanshu Rahul has said that new superstar of Australian cricket, Cam Green, they were 5 for 44. Australia at one stage, horribly in the bad state, having lost a whole heap of wickets, including Finch, Smith and Labuschagne, and then on top of that, Warner. But Zampa, in a partnership with Cam Green, have done very well. Cam Green, not out in an emphatic style. A brilliant performance, actually, from Cam Green. He's not out. Let's have a look here. So they were chasing 232, and they were 8 for 233. Alex Carey, well, he looked good too. Cam Green was not out 89, with Alex Carey out, caught Henry Ball Ferguson for 85. So those two primarily did the dirty work. We had Finch didn't bat well. That's true. He only got a mere 5. LBW drew a dismissal. He actually didn't even really seem to appeal for. Anyway, so Warner got 20, Finch 5, Steve Smith 1, bowled off an inside edge. Terrible. Marcus Labuschagne, well, he lasted 7 balls and got out for a big fat duck. Then Marcus Donners only got 5. He was bowled Henry. That left Carey and Cam Green in a great partnership. They had a partnership of 158. Magnificent. And that led to Alex Carey falling for 85, and then not out the end, Cameron Green. Maxwell for 2, Stark for 1. Adam Zappa not out 13. Quite an impressive performance. If New Zealand made 250, we see Green had 100 perhaps, yeah. So anyway, Cameron Green has got a magnificent 89 on that. He's showing his worth and should bat higher. Should probably bat as high as 4, potentially. So again, Australia chasing 232 for 9, which is what New Zealand got in 50 overs. In 45 overs, got 8 for 233. So just past the score there with 2 wickets in hand. They only had Hazelwood in the sheds, not exactly what you would call a full-on batting lineup left. Of course, this is a double header of sorts. Australia versus New Zealand, not in the Asia Cup, but in the ODI series against New Zealand up in Cairns. Now, Cairns is very north of Queensland, like Sydney and Brisbane, about roughly an hour and a half away. But then Brisbane to Cairns is another 2.5 hours away. In the same state of Queensland is Brisbane, and then moves up to Cairns. It's probably a bit more than 2.5 hours, actually. It's probably getting close to 3. So quite a way. So we've got another hour and 44 minutes before the match between India and Sri Lanka take place, which will probably be in turn followed by, I think, down the track from Pakistan versus Afghanistan. Not forgetting that both India were defeated by Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Well, they actually did defeat Afghanistan. And quite a role reversal to what we saw earlier on in the Asia Cup. So that's what's following. And there's some selection interests around the two teams, namely India and Sri Lanka. But of course, Pakistan and Afghanistan becomes what? Hong Kong out, Bangladesh out. So New Zealand struggled to make 232 for 9 of their 50 overs. They didn't have a lot of batting. Which, I mean, Conway got 46, Williamson 45, Latham 43, and Darryl Mitchell 26. But that's just about it. A few single double-digit figures from Jimmy Neesham and Mitchell Santner as well. Got a dozen, 13 and 16 respectively. So 16 and 13 respectively. So Australia only needed 45 of the 50 overs to get the score, but they were 8 down for 233. Could easily have lost another wicket there, but Cam Green, 89 not out, fantastic. Ably supported by Cam, as in Alex Carey, who scored 85 earlier on. So they had a good 158 run partnership after Australia were 5 for 44. Now, New Zealand lost their 5th wicket at 186, so a very different situation. New Zealand were 5 for 186, whereas Australia were 5 for 44, but they had that very remarkable partnership of 158 between Cam Green and Alex Carey, both getting 80s, 89 for Green and 85 for Carey, so pretty impressive indeed. The bowling for Australia: Stark, Hazelwood, Zampa, Maxwell, Green, and Stoinis. Maxwell taking 4 for 52, bowled well. Hazelwood 3 for 31, bowled well. Zampa and Stark chipped in 1 wicket each. Stoinis didn't do much, and Cameron Green, although be a little bit expensive for his 5 overs, 33. But yeah, Australia batted poorly at the start, 5 for 44. It was not anyway, but they had a magnificent 158 run partnership, which changed the match, but then they lost a few wickets towards the end as well. So New Zealand lost by 2 wickets, which is not a horrific thumping by any means, but they did have a lackluster total to start with. But yeah, Australia were able to get through in the end. In the so-called Chappell-Hadley series is what we're calling this resumption of the Chappell-Hadley series. Chappell, of course, being, I'm assuming, it could be Ian Chappell, it could be Greg Chappell, but I think it's Greg Chappell, to be honest, or is it Ian Howell? I'm not sure which was the Chappell brothers, perhaps. And of course, Hadley being New Zealand's greatest ever bowler by a country mile. Yeah, so we know the score that game, but we are most interested with India versus, of course, Sri Lanka. Some people are saying Manohar Khan is saying that Sri Lanka will win easily. Well, Sri Lanka did beat Afghanistan in the return match after Afghanistan beat Sri Lanka. So we'll wait and see what happens to both India and Sri Lanka. Aaron Finch is being interviewed by Megan Bardo, who's there calling the shots. Aaron Finch must be happy with his team's performance, not necessarily his own. Ridhaban Banerjee. What's your take on Virat's current press conference? He said that many ex-cricketers come out criticising hard on television during one bad phase, but does not reach out personally. Well, that's true. I think the only person who's reached out to him is actually MS Dhoni, and that's pretty poor. Virat Kohli's record, regardless of how he's been playing of late, is outstanding. His batting average is over 50 in most formats, if not all formats. He's got a truckload of test runs. He's got 71 test centuries. 71. I think most people would love to be able to have that happen. Ridhaban notice also, is it the same in Australia, or is it just in India and Pakistan nothing that we carry? Seeking an honest answer. Australians are generally okay with each other in the team, but they're very arrogant outside of the team. Australia don't have a lot of sympathy for other teams necessarily. Their own players, yes. Kane Williamson now talking to Megan Barter. Would be a little bit disappointed with his batting, although the return, the bowlers bowled pretty well, especially Trent Bolt. Brilliant bowling by Bolt. Bolt took what did he take? Bolt took 4 for 40 off his 10 overs, backed up by Matt Henry, who took 2 for 50. And then Lockie Ferguson took a further 2 wickets as well. Then there were, that's 8 of the wickets here. Santner, Bracewell, and Neesham didn't take any wickets. And yeah, Bracewell had still 6 and still had a few overs left in those guys before the end of the day. 3 10s. Would have been interesting to see who they would have bowled, because they would have had Lockie Ferguson one, but Bracewell would have had to bowl some more. Lockie and Neesham would have probably had to bowl some more as well. I don't think New Zealand will be happy with their result. They could easily have turned. They could have actually got out of jail and actually won the match too. Exclusive. What's Ashwin Kartik saying is exclusive? I'm not sure what is exclusive there. So Australia win by 2 wickets is what the result that we're looking at now. It will be interesting to see what happens. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Australia, Cam Green's on there now. He's a massive unit of a guy. Brilliant performance. There it is the thing I was looking for. Yeah, it was certainly impressive from Australia, especially Cam Green getting 89 not out. He's obviously the player of the match. Ably supported by Alex Carey, 85, for sure. Anjit Mitra, hi Noel, what's your take on Ashwin playing in place of Chahal in today's match? Well, I think that Ashwin should never be underrated. He's a brilliant player and won't detract from the situation at all. I think that Ashwin should be should be the side. But how do you find the placement? There's so many good bowlers. Chahal, Jadeja, of course, as well. But you'd have to think that Chahal is going to be in front of Ashwin if needed. But I think that India will have to bowl Ashwin and probably Chahal, and might even throw Bishnoy in there as well. They won't be getting the services of Jadeja as he's injured. And that's the unfortunate thing. Norman Australia win the match. Yeah, they did the Bastards. I was just watching it. I'm just posting on that now. It was a good performance, but a bit shaky towards the end. Finch struggled again. Yes, but a few other struggles. Labuschagne struggles. Smith struggles. There's not a lot I've got going on here. Well played, Cam Green. Yes, Devashis, I agree with you. It certainly is. It is certainly well played by Cam Green. Now, I did ask Motion Shake to come, but he may be busy with Afghanistan. He's probably preparing for the match with them. Of course, they'll be playing Pakistan. There's a lot to be said about this tournament. That is the Asia Cup. This Chapel Hadley Trophy, fairly rubbishy game, to be honest with you, between the two teams. Australia not winning, but it was fairly rubbishy. Trent Bolt bowled well. Even good old Glenn Maxwell bowled well, but it wasn't the best of pitches, not the largest of crowds. People often see this as a meaningless match, and I would kind of believe that. India, world number 1 in T20, and Test, and number 3 in ODIs. Yes, says all. India will win today. Finch should retire. Royal boy, I would agree with you. I think he will probably be seen the last of him after the World Cup. I think he'll play the World Cup, but I think that will be the last of him for sure. But yeah, Satish B saying India will win. I agree with that. India should beat Sri Lanka and should beat them well. But it'll be interesting whether they'll end up playing Pakistan. They may well play Afghanistan. If Afghanistan get a bit of luck their way. Finch should retire. I think that's a general fair comment. Oh boy. Past my bedtime, guys. What a big day. Alex Carey will speak tonight, and Green tomorrow as he needs treatment. So Alex Carey speaking tonight in the media conference, and Cameron Green's unable to getting treatment. Looks very cramped up. Kishak Chowdhury, don't you think that Sanju is better than Pent? Sanju Samson, probably as a batter, you would argue he's pretty much better, but Pent is a game changer. Punt is a game changer. So Royal Boy, toss will be an important factor in the Asia Cup matches today. Yeah, but India should slay Sri Lanka. They should. No doubt. To Bahash's Mohani says, Rowan Coley, no one cares about rankings in white ball cricket. Teams only care about World Cups. Partly true. Rowan Coley says, Rishabh Pant is a shameless guy, such a third-class cricketer. I want Dinesh Karthik placed at this stupid cricketer. Okay, Rowan Coley, I'm not sure whether you should be that hard on him. He's not that bad a player. Although you're disagreeing, we can agree to disagree on that one. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the tally. Just seems to me that when do you sleep, mate? Rob, at the moment, I'm not sure. It's becoming a bit of a difficulty. People say in Cabinet Australia versus New Zealand better. Well, I couldn't see the preview. I must be honest. The preview is something I didn't do. A lot of people wanting New Zealand, not New Zealand. Many people wanting Sri Lanka to win. I don't think they will. In all honesty, Norman, I haven't seen we got Green type of all rounder since Watson. No, Green's up there. In fact, Green's probably a much better batsman than Watson, and bowling is pretty tight as well. Rowan Coley, Devash is saying Rowan Coley. Rishabh Pant is a brilliant young cricketer. Because of him, India win the Test against Australia. That is very true. He was a major part of that whole situation. Indeed, he was pivotal, and his performances against Australia were second to none. No doubt. Oh goodness. All right. You're wanting too much, guys. Cam Green is a future superstar. Well, look, he's not a future superstar. He's a current. Why he can't bat at them before Marnus is useless? Well, he's becoming that way. He's not good at T20 and good at Test. He don't know. Green is a future superstar of sports with HJ. I think it's actually the case now, not in the future. Arshdeep was trolled on social media for dropping a sitter. The fiasco was planted to do propaganda. Isn't it time for cricketers athletes to move out from? I think they should be not allowed on those sort of platforms at all. Totally agree. Now everyone is targeting Finch, Warner, Smith, but no one targets Maxwell. Last 2 years, Maxwell struggles in ODI cricket. I think his overall game is very important. Very important. How do we tackle this? How do we tackle this? What's the future of an athlete? They're going to have to get used to that rhythm. Well, they're going to have to get used to it big time. He hit 108 against England. Grant. Yeah, what today Green did was fantastic. Well, boy, Maxwell has been brilliant at ODI. He's saved Australia against England. India and Sri Lanka recently. Yeah, look, he's a sensational player. He's batting, bowling, and fielding are all just first class, and they deserve that level of recognition for sure. No fear. Got bloody Mark Warren again. Brad Haddon's okay. Mark Warren I can't stand. Brendan Gilling, well, he's consummate professional. Okay. Well, but he is inconsistent. No, I don't think so. The wicket's dismissal of Labuschagne, Smith, and Finch were all LBWs and like all bowled. Some very ordinary decisions there. Warner got caught, but did Mick Whittaker set up. New Zealand chokes though. New Zealand didn't bat well. They didn't choke as such. They did very well with the ball. Sam Hills says Brad Haddon says that Head should be an opener and Green should be at 4. Well, I don't know about Head, but Green, yes. No, Ben McDermott should replace Marnus Well, Marnus Labuschagne is not worthy of being. Then I agree. Not the short formats actually. My Australian future one day 11. Are you going to show it to us? All these batters are quite well handled. Alex Carey seemed to be a bit of a bunny there for, well, not a bunny, but he liked the bowling of Santner, Maxwell, Bracewell at least. India world number 1 in 220. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, what was that? I went. Okay. I would say that India's position in the world is still very sound. Very, very sound indeed. Brad Haddon's talking with Brendan Julian about obviously Carey and Green in their partnerships, and I think they both were great. Carey impressed me. I didn't expect that much of him, but then the way that Cam Green finished is just superb. His big sixes, smashed some great fours, was in complete control. Even though he was cramping, he was very well. Head should replace Finch at the future as ever. No, I don't think Finch or Travis Hedge are the answer really. Ben McDermott, I think more of. I'd give him a go. Ben McDermott's a good player, but the way we have to look at this as much as the way that Cam Green was such a consummate expert. Section should try Philippe, Inglis, McDermott, and Renshaw. Yeah, I agree. Roll says Head should be placed Finch in the future, Noble and Green at 4 instead of Labuschagne. I would agree with that. But Head, oh no, I'm not going to agree with Head. No, I think that there's plenty of other openers like Ben McDermott, for example. Bolt dropped to sitter. That's not good. Norman brother, the chokers of World Cricket South Africa announced their T20 World Cup squad today to be reviewed as captain. I saw that. I just said it. Royal Boy. Head is Warner's replacement. McDermott is Finch's replacement. And Green, surely this pitfall. Yeah, I don't know whether I think McDermott. I think you're going to find that Warner and Finch are going to stay. You don't know where Warner won't be replaced. No. Okay, Warner won't be replaced. Finch is the one that's in doubt, I would say. Give respect to South African cricket. Yeah, I don't think they're a very good side. And Temba Bavuma is not going to be a good captain. They really need a consistent captain. That may well have been, or Graham Smith in the past. I think it's hard to know where South Africa are at. I'm not a big fan. DeBarce's brother. So Australia all made 8 for 233 in the 45th over, chasing 9 for 232, which New Zealand had. We should head into the next match, shouldn't we? In about just under an hour's time, they'll be tossing. It's going to be interesting to see. So the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in Australia comes up in October. I think October 16th. The preliminary or the qualifiers are on, then ultimately matches start around the 24th, 25th, and then we move all the way through November. So it's very quick 5 players, and I do like that rather than what Asia Cup are doing. I think it's rather strange what they're doing. That is playing the two teams at the top of the group keep playing each other. I thought they would have been selected and they would then play off against each other, not play around circle hoping to see who wins. No. So Thursday is the second ODI between Australia and New Zealand on Thursday. So that's Monday into Tuesday now. Thursday into Friday is the next match. And there's also a time that I want to go to England, potentially in the future, where Rishabh Pant will be given his knighthood. That would be fantastic. See you, VJ. My God, you gone, you gone. Same Hislop was there. Actually, I was pissily falling asleep then. All right. Let's see what else we got. I've had some pretty big dive. I've actually got to take a towel. Yeah, I've got to take a towel, guys. So we're getting an indication here on the India versus. Let's look here. I'm there and I'm not. I'm not quite. You team always checking pressure. A bit hard on your things there, guys. Where is this? No. This has sort of put me to sleep, guys. Sorry, but I got to eat some water. My Icelandic water, as you all know. Okay, mate, just having fun. I'll show you. Oh, God. Batting in green and carry early is pretty loose. The Indian probable side, I think I put that up already. Did I not? Let's see this Indian side virginity test. Very close. It was a pretty close game. Australia should have won easily, and it was thanks to the likes of Alex Carey and Grant itself that they won. But realistically, yeah, Grant is next Callis. It's a fair comment. Yeah, Grant is next Callis. It's a fair comment. There's a lot going on there. India will win the Asia Cup. I would think so. Well, when you look tired, you should go to sleep. Devashes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, mate. I'm bloody tired. I'm just waiting for India to win the toss against Sri Lanka and smack them. Yes, Sam, Australia is strong under pressure, but it's not, I think, going to win yet. I'm live. I'm actually just silver. I am live. Okay. Who'll win the Asia Cup? Rowan Collar. I mean, you'd have to think India. India deservedly should win it. Pakistan have just done it. Okay, so chance of India Australia is too strong and I see Tom. Choice Where Max was a bit disappointing. Well, He's got so much. He got 4 wickets. When people say that Glenn Maxwell is boring or not in form, he got 4 wickets today. He's been bowling fantastic. Field's magnificently. His batting was a bit up and down, but he's still way ahead of everybody else. Don't kid yourself. I do want to see what India will probably thrash. You would think they'd thrash Sri Lanka. You would think they would undoubtedly thrash Sri Lanka. Let's have a look here. Need to plug that in. Yeah, I'm going to plug that in. India are likely to win the World Cup. Yes, I would agree with that. Need to plug that in. Well, the World Cup, I should win both, shouldn't they, really? I really should win both. Look at this. I got this bizarre tablet. I've got to take some crazy. I'm going in for a heart thing tomorrow. Green will destroy South Africa in a test series coming up. I hope he does. I hope he does. That's what we got here. So Cam Graham will be available at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow Australian time. Training likely to be only a few hours. Okay. And Wednesday, September 7th, yes. So Cam Graham. So Alex Carey is supposed to be on there as well. So where is... Oh, there you go. Trying to find some... I don't know where they've got the... Don Bradman certainly is on that. Okay, so Sam, don't take him seriously. It's really disappointing.
Hello.
Oh, okay. It's a strange thing. I'm still waiting on this Sri Lanka India match to see who actually wins the toss. We're not getting there yet. PCB. Still waiting on something going with the toss here. Okay.
Two hours in, and she's taking a nap. She's got one, couple of them out. I'm gonna put the balls back in there because they're down here. So I'm gonna get them.
This is another day in the lifestyle video. This is my commute into...
Welcome, Curly. So I met up with a girl today called Jessica Halloran, and she has a certain show that I need to see more about. Spotify, there we go. Jessica Halloran. I have to Google that name, see what comes up. So Jessica Helen. I know very little about her. There she is. Journalist. So Jessica Helen, she's a Walkley award-winning sports writer. She's been covering sport for 2 decades and has reported from Olympic Games, World Swimming, and Athletic Championships. I didn't know anything about this lady. Pretty impressive. What is the book that she's... I don't know anything about her. That's a bit of a shock from my system. I didn't know. I should know her. It's pretty embarrassing. I didn't know anything about Jessica Helen. Yeah. Picked her up from... Impressive. Very impressive. Jessica Helen. I don't know about just... So Devas's Ricky Ponting's predicting will win the 2019 World Cup. What are we talking about? 2019? Devas, can Pakistan next year win the Test series against Australia? Do you think? Oh, I don't think so. Very impressive. Impressive. Absolutely. So, Pakistan's no chance. Can't say Pakistan's got no chance. How are you going to say that? So, for media comment, Alex Carey. Alex Carey.
He's actually right. He's not too bad. Youngsters, eh?
Alright, thanks everyone. Alex Carey. Through the game tonight, and other various goings on.
Alex, can you just start with what you...
So Alex Carey came to the media conference after the match, following the first of the Dettol men's ODI match against New Zealand Kings. So the travel head.
I guess we knew what was happening. We knew we were in a bit of trouble, but we also knew there was lots of time left in the game. So, yeah, we enjoyed batting together. We work really well. He scores pretty freely at the other end.
This is actually Alex Carey talking about the batting with Cam Green.
So, yeah, to be honest, not a lot had to be said. I think it was just, yeah, bat and see how we get.
Ricky Ponting's judging doesn't mean it's the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, in a way, you're never out of an ODI, and that day it was Maxwell going bananas. Yeah.
Don't forget, Australia were 5 for 44. They've recovered with a 158-run partnership between both Alex Carey and Cameron Green. Alex Carey getting 85 and Cam Green getting 89 not out. Tobias is asking me, can Alex Carey captain Australia's ODI team? What should... I say no. I prefer to see Maxwell, to be honest. That's how I would go with. We'll see what that actually happens. That's a fair point, Tobias. I can see why he's saying that, but I would say no. Williamson got 40 odd, got that caught out for 45. Latham got runs also, these little steady 40s. Devon Conway got 40 odd as well. Rowan Collis, my prediction, India will win the T20 World Cup in 2022 in Australia. India will win the Test Series versus Australia 3-1 in India and will remain in number one T20 and for the next 2 years. That's a pretty big call. We'll wait and see if you're right. Look, they already see that. I'll just said I'll record that. I don't know whether that's going to be necessarily right, but we're not going to begrudge you of this. One stage is on 3 for 173, and they just fall apart. Still waiting on this toss. Okay. We've got the toss there. We've got waiting on a few things. Rowan Colley, are you mad? You're saying, okay. I'm going to record this and just see whether he is mad. There we go, I got it now. Recorded it. Device's brother, yes, I am, because I love cricket and it's been on your blood. It may be in your blood, but there's something else in your blood too, a bit of vodka maybe. No, we're only joking, So how long we got before this toss? Well, 22 minutes. I need to take this tablet, guys. It's not a fun tablet. My back in a second, this tablet's. I've got some test tomorrow. I should be okay with a test, but I could have a test tomorrow. I'm sure I like this tablet. To be honest with you. Beta blocker. Whatever that is. So, Dartmouth 6, Conway 46, Williamson 45, Latham 43. That was amazing. So some Trent bolts. First ball of Warner. Okay. Back again, guys. So DeBas has made my prediction because I wanted in the top. Well, Aaron Collins, for Australians, India said confidently the winner of the T20 World Cup, they're going to have to get their act together now. Let's say they will. I think they're going to be up there. I think it's going to be Australia versus India. That will be an exciting final, even India, Pakistan. But the way Bolt played today, Bolt played very well. I'm from India also, but that doesn't mean I say India are going to win every series. It's got to be fair here. India can't win everything. Pakistan have just beaten India in the Asia Cup after winning the first match. India, then Sri Lanka beat Afghanistan after Afghanistan won the first match. It's a bit hard to work out what's going on there. Now we have India versus Sri Lanka, which will be a test for Sri Lanka big time. Now, my top four for the T20 World Cup: Australia, India, New Zealand, South Africa. No, Australia, India, Pakistan, and England is my top four. Australia, India, Pakistan, New Zealand, and England. Not South Africa and not New Zealand. Steve Smith played a very wide ball and just played much wider than we had to. Steve Miles only got one. And Warner clipped a couple of 4s and 6s. He looked in reasonable touch. He got 94 the previous night. Now this toss is some. How long is it away? It's about another 19 minutes away. So no indication of. It is true that Cameron Green is certainly a star. There's no doubt about that. No fear he's a star. Very interesting. Just want to the Cam Green, Alex Carey star is Australia's still thrilling victory. Hosts recover from 5 for 44 to stun New Zealand and Channel had very over. It's very true. Cam Green certainly has proven to be a bit of a winner. Debashis, Mahanti, Rowan Coley having a good old chat there. So look here. Dating matches? What am I getting dating matches? Best wear? I got myself a best wear jacket. Richard Branson. Okay. And this funny tablet class. Emma Jones, very attractive. Just trying to find this. Menard markets. Can't consolidate Menard markets. So where is this bloody toss? Try and wait and see what's up there. Yeah. Rowan Coley. Okay, Norman said India will win 4-0 and I don't believe Australia will win the Test series. I didn't say that. But we shouldn't overestimate India's performances because they can't win everything. It's just sheer. So Alice Carey 85 of 99 balls. He's really shot everyone. Maxwell can't win every game either. Carey looked very, very ordinary. Very ordinary. Good story. Very impressed with this Jessica Halloran. So Uncle Nake, Ravi Bishnoi is good chance choice in place of Shahal. Norman, your take on this? Yeah, he is. I mean, Ashwin, Bishnoi, Chahal, well, now Jadei's out. They're all great spinners and very capable. Very highly ranked from my point. So Jessica Halloran is a Walkley award-winning sports writer. She's been covering sport for 2 decades now and has reported from Olympic Games, World Swimming and Athletics Games, the Rugby World Cup, as well as the AFL and NRL series. Impressive. India should win the toss and bat. But will they do that? We'll wait and see. Bring on these toss guys. Naresh Manaskani's appeared. Naresh Manaskani, I think you should be on my show. Norman, pick your top 3 favourites for the 2020 World Cup in Australia next month. Top 3, I've said top 4. Australia, India, Pakistan, and England. Okay. Naresh Manaskani has disappeared. I thought she'd be on my show again. She's not. So let's get something going on here. So really disappointed with the fact that Afghanistan, after beating Sri Lanka beat them. I'm not happy with that. And India beating Pakistan, Pakistan beats India. I'm not happy with that either. It's just a bit confusing. It's very confusing, guys. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I find it very, very confusing. Still at 11 minutes more. Nolan, you're awesome. Gun, thank you. Harsh Jetwa, how are you? Just know what's going on here. Still waiting on this bloody Indian. So, not long before the toss, it's about 10 minutes. Carroll is seen giving a pep talk in the Indian team huddle. How crucial is the toss going to be today? I would argue very, very, very. ECCO getting ready. Some great photos of the guys. Just some pretty heavy duty stuff there. Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Asked yet where you say no. What? If I can Pakistan will, why can't Ron Colley? Why can't Pakistan win? They have every chance of winning. It's just a matter of time. This time shall win over India and Indian soil. Are you talking about the harsh set? Why are you talking about the Test series? What are you talking about? Shark has bowled pretty well, I would argue. he's not at he's lost a bit of his best. I would argue too. Some great photos of the Indian players warming up. So this time Australia win over Australia on Indian soil on the 20th of September. What's on the 20th of September? What's on the 20th of September? You're not telling me, guys. Gilly's cricket's going live now.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, yeah, about 8 minutes to go for toss. Do or die game for India of sorts. So, do
So
you
Gilly,
just before we go into the fantasy preview, do you think Sri Lanka can upset India? Do you think
I'm
that is
live too.
possible?
Always. It's T20.
Very good numbers. Instagram. Very interesting. Okay, so we're waiting for this toss, aren't we? No, what a kid you have. Yeah, Green is amazing. So tell us your playing 11 for the Aussies in the World Cup 2020. Well, good question. The Australian 2020 lineup will be Warner and Finch are going to still be there, and they're going to have probably Steve Smith there too, although I don't necessarily agree. Mish Marsh should be in that side, and I have obviously Cam Green. Alice Carey seems to have confirmed, although I have Josh Inglis. Maxwell. Stoinis is a bit iffy, but he should be there as well. Then the bowlers obviously Stark. Cummins who should come back into play. Hazelwood, Zampa. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, another Australian is here. Another Australian is here. Yeah, Cam Green's a certainty to be playing all formats. You have to argue. Where is this bloody toss? Chris Silverwood, the Sri Lankan coach, doing the talking in the Sri Lankan huddle, how crucial. So it's Kara Rahul doing the talking in the Indian huddle, and Chris Silver doing the talking in the Sri Lankan huddle. We'll wait and see. I want to see Tim David on number 6. He won't walk straight into the side, okay? So Himanshu Rahela reckons Warner, Finch, Marsh, Maxwell, Inglis, Stoinis, David, Wade. Wade, keep it no. Cummins, Stark, Zampa. Hazelwood. So Smith, okay, if Smith doesn't get a Guernsey, I'd accept that. But Wade won't be the wicketkeeper.
So that is very important. That's where he's now.
The 5 inch from the toss. Tim David, Harsh. I agree with Smith, will helpful. I just don't know whether you'll see Tim David walk straight into the side. I don't think it's going to happen. That's my thoughts. Steve Smith should retire from 2020 cricket. I think, and also ODIs to boot. I think his innings test career is limited now. You have to argue. Waiting for this toss, guys. Waiting for this toss. Pang Sun. Maxwell didn't bowl too badly. I'm not saying he bowled fantastic, but 4 wickets. He got Mitchell to flick one to mid wicket for 26. Looking promising was at that stage too, but he didn't get there for Maxwell again. He took the wicket and he got driven there by Bracewell. And Bracewell hit it straight down the Zampa, a backward point, no, a backward leg slip, leg gully. 80% of world cricket runs by India cricket wins world cricket. Yeah, you need more than one team to be given that status, to be honest. Okay, so, but unfortunately they have got nothing. Who's got nothing? This toss is 2 minutes away. Once we've got the toss and the teams, we'll hopefully see some action. Desperately waiting for this toss to know what the hell's going on here. So as I said earlier, not long before the toss, KR Rahul had the Indian team in a huddle, and Chris Silver, the coach of Sri Lanka, had his team in a huddle. And how crucial is toss going to be today? Well, India win the toss, will probably bowl first, get Sri Lanka out of the way, and win revenge home. Harsh Jethwa, Aussies top of the table 6 World Cup. India, yeah, it's pretty significant. Where is this toss? It's only a minute away from the toss as far as I'm not sure if they're out there ready to toss. India have had 4 wins and then a loss. Sri Lanka have a loss, win, loss, and then 2 wins. 2 wins who they beat. Against who else they beat. Expecting Western Australia will win again this season because of Cam Green. Well, you think so? Finch, Warner, Marsh. Okay, Warner, Marsh, Maxwell. Finch, Warner, Marsh, Maxwell, Stones, David, Wade. No. I don't know how Sam Bridge was starting comes out. I'd have to say that Wade won't be the keeper. I don't think he will. So Sri Lanka won the toss and have chosen to bowl. Sri Lanka won the toss and have chosen to bowl. Sri Lanka won the toss and this is field. And won the toss. Elected to bowl. Yeah, nobody wants to elect a field. I'll put it in brackets. Because the Zampa is open against the Zampa. Why is that? Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bowl. Waiting on the sides for Sri Lanka. They've elected to bowl first, and they put India in the bat first. Okay. No sign of the sides though. So Cam Green, Henry Hunt, Noel area, Renshaw, Todd Murphy, Josh Phillip, and Trevor said, yeah, the future's bright. You would, yeah, okay, it's pretty bright. Yeah. Waiting on the selections of the sides now. We know that Sri Lanka won the toss and chosen to bowl. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bowl first. That means field. Right, okay. So they won the toss. But what about the teams? So we'll report it on that. Don't add Tom. Todd Murphy is not in the sites though. Still waiting on teams. So Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bowl. I'm just waiting on the teams. Oh, so recapping, New Zealand lost to Australia. New Zealand 9 for 232 after their 50 overs. Australia were cruising once well. They were down 5 for 44, which they're not cruising. With a massive 158 run partnership between Alex Carey, who got 85, and Cameron Green got 89. Resurrected their score, but then they wobbled a bit. They were 8 for 233 when they passed the score. So won by 2 wickets, but not a convincing win at all. Toss of Sri Lanka won the top. No changes to the Sri Lankan side. India make one change. They bring in Ashwin in place of Ravi Bishnoi. Okay. There's the information I wanted to hear. So Ravi Bishnoi, Ashwin's coming for Ravi Bishnoi. So okay. No changes in the Sri Lankan team. India have replaced Bishnoi with Ashwin. Only change. Pretty big discussion. Finch will announce his retirement after the ODI series against New Zealand. Well, from ODI cricket, maybe not from T20. You're slow and slept. Wow. I should learn from you on how to wake up all night for exams. Oh boy. Oh my God, I'm so stuffed, aren't I, guys? There's no pretending that I'm half asleep. $134. So no changes is wrong side that beat Afghanistan, and India's only change they brought Ravi Chandra Ashwin in for Bishnoi. Today's, of course, is already out. The series. I need to see this. The team lists. So in Asha, hey, always struck just one question. That's why James Walker. So I haven't got any news. Like nothing. He's my favourite all rounder. Yeah, well, he had his day. So it's a tactical change pretty much for him. There we go. A tactical change. Okay. I don't know. Ashwin. Tactical. So says road. Okay. Oh, guys, we might just, we're 20 minutes before the match starts. How about we just see how we go with questions. Okay. Also, Sri Lanka against some beat Australia. You don't forget Australia not playing their full strength play. I'm going to be heavily involved in the. Yeah, I agree with any Pakistan being any losers, we know that. Alright guys, we're going to cut off there. Okay. What's going on? It's okay. Lots of questions, guys. We've been on for an hour and a half. I think that's long enough. We will see each other tomorrow. India clearly will probably thump Sri Lanka, to be honest with you. Hope they lost the best. Okay, guys. This partnership will define Australia. Selected that Green and Kerry should play both in the World Cup next year. Alex Kerry is the way to go. I don't know about Green though. Green's what a catch from Maxwell. Australia will play Maxwell catching back the point off a very well hit ball from Guptill. It's a great catch. Jesus. Guptill was very unlucky today. Could easily score more runs. Okay. All right, guys. I've made my point. Sri Lanka have won the toss and elected to bowl. India will bat. India's lineup is only changed by Bishnoi leaving and Ashwin in, a tactical move. And Sri Lanka are unchanged, which is commendable to them. Last comment, Harsh Jatiwa. I want to see Mitch recover and play against India. I mean, Mitch Marsh, okay. Because we lost the last 5, T20, but they win world championships, I'm afraid. WC World Cups. So I can't comment badly with them. All right. It's almost time for the game, guys. We've done enough for the reports tonight. Time to go to bed. Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow.